You see, we are fighting for the right to fair hearing. Actually, ever since this case started, way back in 2024, it's all about the right to fair hearing. Right from the time Dr. Besigye was, and Obedi Lutale were transferred from Nairobi illegally and brought back here, taken to the General Court Martial. It has been a fight shifting to the civilian courts. It was a fight. Even going before Justice Nsenga, it's a fight. Coming to Justice Baguma, all through, it's been a battle for due process, fair trial. And unfortunately, Justice Baguma today has pronounced unceremoniously that everything is done with a fair trial, with a due process, now that is set for hearing. What a tragedy, what a travesty. Because you all witnessed what transpired today. The matter was coming up for preliminary hearing. And the preliminary hearing is a command of the law under the TIA, the Trial and Indictment Act. It's a command of the law. It's a command of the Constitution. And we raised these 80 pertinent issues which have got a bearing on the right to fair hearing for the due process. Unfortunately, he glossed over those issues. He never actually made a ruling on a number of them. He just glossed over them and then said, we have closed with the issue of preliminary hearing. Now, the state should produce their first witness on Thursday. Very, very unfortunate, regrettable, and amounts to a travesty of justice. Let me tell you this. I want to substantiate on this matter. First of all, there is a command in the Human Rights Enforcement Act in Section 8. Once the matter has arisen, once there is a matter which has arisen regarding fair trial, the judge's hands are tied. He must, of necessity and as of law, cease or stop the proceedings forthwith. He must stop the proceedings forthwith. Once an application has been brought to his attention, like we have done today, that we are raising issues to do with human rights enforcement. And the application is very clear. Dr. Besigye, Obedi Lutale, challenging the actions of General Muhoozi, the CDF, challenging the actions of one IMBC, Peter, and also Ephraim Byaruhanga. Those ones are the ones who masterminded and actually executed the illegal transfer of Dr. Besigye and Obedi Lutale from Nairobi to Kampala here. And we are raising a return of transgressions, of violation of rights, which are all matters which ought to have occasioned a stay of the proceedings. Unfortunately, the judge did not look into these matters. So for all intents and purposes, this is not a trial, it's just persecution going on. And it's unfortunate that it's being done by the judge himself. You can see the prosecution is laid back now. All the work is being done by Justice Baguma. Now he has directed that Thursday is the commencement of the hearing, that the prosecution should bring their first witness. We are insisting, unless and until the accused persons have got facilities to interact with the lawyers, and unless and until the application for bail and also the other application for enforcement of rights, the one against Muhoozi and those two captain, there is captain and lieutenant, there is Colonel Peter Imbisibwe and Lieutenant Colonel Ephraim Byaruhanga. Unless and until that application is disposed of, unless and until the bail application is entertained by Justice Baguma or any other judge, unless and until we have been granted access. Let me repeat this. Unless and until Dr. Besigye is allowed to access his lawyers without any legal fetter or these administrative fetters, unless and until the application for bail is heard and disposed of, unless and until the application against Muhoozi for enforcement of rights and those colonels are disposed of, there's not going to be any trial. We want to assure Mr. Baguma is not going to proceed with the trial on Thursday unless and until these matters are handled. Which matters are a command of the law. These preliminary issues touching the right to fair hearing, preliminary issues touching the due process. We insist they must be addressed. Unless and until they are fully and exhaustively dealt with, there is not going to be a trial on Thursday.